got a song with ice and fire. So grab a lighter and a cold drink. Go, 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 go. Grab a lighter and a cold drink. Go, 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 go. It's go time.
You heard it right. It's go time.
Go.
Here on PanNerdia, Aaron.
And Pete.
And welcome back, guys, to Go Time, our Game of Thrones discussion breakdown show. And, we usually do it on Sunday nights before the new episode, but tonight we're here on Saturday to bust it out for you guys. And we're here to discuss Season 8, Episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Seven hells, yeah.
Hell yeah. So, man, this episode started right out of the gate. I mean, just didn't, cut any corners. Just went straight to Jaime getting tried.
Yes.
But it wasn't like, oh shit, we're expecting all this crazy action in this episode. No, this was like this short season's chance to bring all the characters together for those moments we've loved throughout the series. Great monologues, great character connections and growth scenes,
Yes.
and arc completions even. But it was a little bittersweet because it almost set up for many deaths to come.
The inevitable end of many, yes.
Man, I mean, we gotta say it's pretty crazy.
But Dany, Sansa, and Tyrion all got a chance to speak. Brienne actually defended him, and we saw that coming a mile away. Even Grey Worm had a little moment there, but when Bran ended the scene with "What we do for love," right?
Right.
That kind of like.
That's the thing. Like ultimately,
Talk about icebreaker.
everybody was kind of taking little stabs at Jaime.
Yeah.
But the ultimate one, gut punch, was Bran saying that. Like, dude.
The
all
stare,
the
the deep stare on top of it,
All the times I sat and watched that episode, I just continuously laughed at that scene because, man, did he really
Nailed it.
Yeah, just really stick it to him there. But let's go ahead and get the slideshow going here for you guys. All right.
There it is.
There's Jaime.
A little trial hearing action.
Getting tried, yeah. I mean, and again, if you guys noticed, too, Daenerys was kind of sitting at the helm.
Yeah, in the middle.
This time in the middle versus Jon last episode.
Jon also had like 2 words in this scene. He's like,
pretty much.
We need all the men we can get. And he's like looking down. It's like, shit, she doesn't know I'm Aegon the Sixth.
Yeah.
Shit, what do I do? When do I tell her? When do I tell her?
Only thing going through his head. I mean, literally, he doesn't want to make eye contact. Nothing. He's out. And at that point, she's like looking for.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that whole scene, she's looking for somebody to be like, "What the hell just happened?" And he's just like,
You don't see me.
I'm going ghost on you. No pun intended with his dog there.
Right.
But yeah, great scene because you ended up having several different people kind of stand up for Jaime. First off, himself, he didn't want to say sorry. He's like, I was fighting for my family.
Yeah, and his brother next,
Then
right?
brother, yeah, and then Brienne. So it's
Yeah.
like those 3 people who stepped up to the plate. I mean, technically you could say Bran with the way he kind of interrupted because it kind of just stopped everybody's gusto. There's kind of like...
Well, Sansa saved the day, too, because of her connection with Brienne.
Yeah.
So she's like, I trust her with my life, literally, figuratively, all that.
Yeah, and if you do, you trust him, you can fight by his side, then we got to accept him. And then Jon's answer, of course. And
Death
then,
is on the way. What can you say?
Hey, we need everybody we can get. So Jaime is saved for now.
But not Tyrion, at least the next scene, because Dany's like threatening him as they're like doing the hard walk out of the
Tyrion
chamber there.
Decides to comment to both Varys and
Jorah.
Jorah, yeah.
Like, looks like you'll be wearing one of these pins soon.
Yeah, looks like before the end of this, it's one of you guys.
Yep.
But yeah, so all in all, the whole kind of thing I mentioned that perhaps Tyrion could be on his downfall, this episode kind of changes that light. And especially for us, like, it shows, and not only, it's kind of interesting, both Lannisters, not only are people stepping up for Jaime in this episode, there's some people who step up for Tyrion too. So, and kind of...
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Jorah Mormont eventually does.
Right.
He stands up for him, too. It comes down to it. What is the best combination of things that we need to have, that, like, absolutely need to have to fight the dead?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
brains and brawn are equivalent. You need it all. You need it all.
Exactly. If they're willing to fight for the living, then By all means, let's go.
His tactics won Blackwater. I mean, hell.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I know this is definitely well beyond that.
Yes, but still, I mean,
But
his
yeah.
mind is very important. We'll find out even more about that later.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's just we see some major dragonglass action, right?
Yes, major forging of Dragonglass, Arya and Gentry, the scene we've been waiting for, and then some. I mean, just the fact that she's in there and she's like, "Make me my weapon," and he kind of like doesn't really respond to it right away. So they talk about the dead, and then after they talk about the dead, she's like shows him how serious she is.
Yeah.
By throwing those arrowheads perfectly.
great.
And the dude that was sitting there like having a drink with the beard and the long hair, I was like, that's the part I wanted.
Yeah, that was great. He's like, whoa. He's like, I'm out of here, shit. Yeah, very interesting scene, man. I mean, not only do you get to see the amount of drag glass, even more so how many
All
weapons are
different.
being made.
Oh yeah.
Iterations of it, even smaller battle axes, to arrowheads, the daggers, to
I'll tell
spear
you what,
tips,
those smaller battle axes are like, they looked like modern day,
like butcher's knives or something.
no, like a butcher's knife combined with a good
Like
old
a hatchet or
like a
something?
hatchet,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a large hatchet.
Yeah.
And she made fun of him about it. He goes, works fine, boom, and he puts it through like a piece of wood like this far in. I was like, oh my god, like that was a miniature version of what Hound has, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
It's just a one-handed. You can have two of them if you want.
But he finally was like, I'm getting right on it to make her weapon.
Yeah, after she saw how serious it was, because she was just asking like, what are they like, and she got serious like to the point where it's like, how do they move, this and that. Like,
Smell.
she's like killer tactics basically, and he's just like, it's death, and she's like, oh, I know death, and he's like, oh shit. And of course she does all the little flirty smiles, and even he's like sticking steam.
It was so projected. He's
Right.
like, he's all sweaty and shirtless or
He's like,
something. He's like, and she's looking at it, goes, oh, put my fire out. It was so telegraphed.
It was totally.
But wonderful. That was entertaining.
Yeah. So after that scene, then we move on to top of my head.
Oh, the tree talk.
Yes, of course.
Short tree talk.
This is kind of the scene I've been waiting for, and honestly, it didn't. I guess I gotta kind of give.
It was so short, didn't satisfy you.
It didn't satisfy me as much as I wanted to, but it was still straight to the punch because that's what Bran's doing. But Jamie and Bran finally get a little together time, and Jamie.
I have to say, that's the shortest scene in the show, but one of my favorites, just because, he asks Bran, he goes, "What about afterwards?" And what does Bran say? But how do you know there is an afterwards? And I remember I was sitting next to you watching that episode, and I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, right.
That's like basically saying like, "You're not gonna live. What are you talking about?"
And this is the thing with Bran. I think he's not telling the reason he's being so three-eye Raven right now, like totally just out there, is because he's not delving like all information to everybody. He doesn't want certain people knowing certain things because that could probably F up his whole plan, right? So maybe the reason and I think this is a theme throughout the episode, a reason they're cutting the scene right when Bran's about to talk to somebody, Jamie, Tyrion.
True.
I think the scene goes on. We're supposed to think that they're actually talking. Something's getting said between the two.
There's more
dialogue, especially between Tyrion and Bran. But we'll get to that.
They pulled. We'll talk about it later.
Because there might be something bigger to that. But ultimately, it's cut a little short with Jamie and Bran. But at a point where you're like, okay, yeah, Jamie's probably dead. And then even more, speaking of Jamie and Tyrion, we get them meeting up together in the courtyard.
Little walk and talk,
which is actually very amusing. It's good. I love their brotherly interactions.
Yes.
And
it was very good.
But the Northerners don't, though. You get the one guy like talking to make Lukey down.
And Tyrion's like, and the masses rejoice or whatever, or they go wild.
I love it, dude.
But it was basically a talk of understanding their enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also we find out that according to Jamie, Cersei lied about everything but the pregnancy. But the thing is that she very well, over the space of time, she seeing the dead person and Jamie leaving and all that, may have lost the pregnancy. So that's still a question mark, but Jamie did say, no, that part's real.
And again, it is a question mark, but I'm thinking that she even pulled Jamie a fast one on him with that whole pregnancy thing.
Perhaps.
But who knows? But
seeing that dead guy was a game changer, that's
I
for
think
sure.
Jamie's over Cersei at this point, because even during a nice bonding moment with his brother, he gets caught off guard by Brianna Tarth out in the field training other soldiers, getting that left flank ready, and we'll kind of talk some more of that in some mini map talk, but he goes out and greets her because he's got something to say. And hey, who's there too? Well, Podrick being a little badass and training his heart away, and you can see his progress.
Oh
which
yeah,
is pretty cool.
he's like an expert training others now. Yeah.
And she's like, he's got a lot to learn, which I think is kind of a nod to even Jamie in terms of how he expresses himself. Because I think she knows how. Because even when he's like, she's like, when you always insult me in a matter of seconds, why haven't you? And he's like, I don't want to. He's like, good, I don't want to. And then he's like, I actually got something to say. And it's almost like he wants to say more. He wants to almost, not necessarily say he loves her right then and there, but express himself even more so than just being like, actually, I would love for you to, take reign and I'll fight under you in the left flank, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of his way of, I think, and it was starting to show that he actually is, his true love is her.
I don't know about that one.
You don't think that?
I think a lot of fans definitely are on the same page with you, but I just have to say that I think he loves her, but I don't think he's like, this is like someone I want to be with and sleep with and start a life with. This is someone he actually went through a lot with.
Right.
Both directions, saving each other's hides. And it's the point where he probably loves her as much as, as any other person besides Cersei. You know what I mean?
I think it's romantic, but hey. Well, I guess we'll see.
I'll tell you
next
what's
episode.
Romantic. All the lines with Tremond.
What's that now? Tormund?
Tormund, sorry.
Yeah.
All his lines in this, and we'll get to some of them later.
His
That's
cheesy ass
I
line.
call that's called lovemaking lines right there.
Well, that's the thing. It's almost like a love triangle between those three, which is funny. That's what's funny about it.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Love
what
triangle?
between those three in a way. It's like it's an awkward
I
ass
can
love
see
triangle.
them doubling Brienne, and he's drinking like Giant's milk because he's going to town.
It was-
Hey, Gold Boy, hand me that fist. like, all right, I'm done.
God.
Continue.
I was thinking about it. Like, I don't think that was giant's milk. I think that was just like goat's milk or something.
Oh, what he was drinking?
Yeah.
Probably,
Because there's
but
no way he was just keeping giant's milk for that long.
the expressions on everyone's
Yeah.
faces, that's pretty good.
We'll get to that awesome scene too. But so anyway, he decides Jamie wants to, fight under Brienne, which is awesome. A
Yeah.
great scene. And
I have to say one thing. One of my favorite quotes, though, the prior conversation with the brothers, is Jamie walks off, but Tyrion's still talking. He says, "I wonder what it would be like if I turned into a walker and marched down and ripped Cersei apart."
Oh, I
or
love
whatever."
that.
And
Yeah,
he was
give
all
a
like
smirk.
giggly and like serious but giggly about
Yeah,
it. Then he
I
turned
love
over and
that.
he was gone. I just had to insert that. But yeah, after that, Jorah saves Tyrion's hide, followed by Dany talks with Sansa.
oh yeah, very interesting scene. And real quick, the Jorah scene was great because it was Jorah really bearing himself even more so, which is also, as we're moving on, kind of another red flag for him dying. But
Right.
he pretty much is completely given up his position at this point. He's like, I was pissed. I was jealous that Tyrion got that, but he deserves it. You need to give him a second chance. Yes, I am putting the guy who took my job ahead of me. It's
And
kinda like-
you need every sword out there you can get. But yeah, when she now is taking his advice, like not even questioning it.
yeah, at that point.
Because and there's one other thing, and they cut the scene. I guess was the one other thing you should talk to Sansa.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
I console, try to get that,
Yes.
a little bit, that relationship a
I
little
think
cooler.
this conversation here, fans are getting a little bit too overblown about with the expressions of Daenerys. I've read a lot of things of like, oh, the evil fake smile and laugh and all this, and I was like, I don't know. I think she's just genuine, but she's also doing what she was advised to do.
I think the whole scene was genuine up until
But so what about the North?
Right, yeah, there was heat there the whole time, right? They were kind of going back and forth still the whole time, but kind of being open to like talk,
Yes.
right? And it was until the point where Sansa's like, men do stupid things for love, and she's like,
Ain't that the truth?
and then Sansa's like, or Daenerys is like, well, I'm up here fighting his war. Who manipulated who? I think honestly, right then and there, Sansa did be like, oh shit, okay, I get it a little more now, but still. Let's not forget about the North. And again, it just was like as soon as it was starting to settle, the
Yeah.
boils started bubbling again.
Definitely, they were feeling united, and all of a sudden there's a little fun, and then all of a sudden, what about the North after?
And then it gets cut off again.
Yes.
And but by the maester saying someone's arrived, and who's to arrive but Theon.
The heart tug scene, the first one.
Yeah, that
of the
one actually
show.
really got me.
Yeah,
and
me
even
as
watching
well.
it multiple times, it got me again because
Yep.
it's just Theon's redemption at this point.
And once again, the things they've both been through, I mean, way worse than Jamie and Brienne.
Right.
Way
Yeah,
worse.
way
I mean,
worse.
getting your hand cut off is one thing. Getting your junk cut off and being tortured and being brainwashed, and,
Right.
and all the rape and stuff that poor Sansa had to go through. With
He had
the two-
identity crisis,
The
man.
two
too.
bastard ancestral.
Yeah. They both have
Prince
been through
Kings.
a lot.
Oh man.
Some people are even shipping them now with how this scene wasn't even the soup scene. Like, maybe Sansa, she's just done with anything that has to do with sexual romance, and Theon obviously can't, but he's not about that either, and they'll just live as like a harmonious couple. Some people are shipping them now, if they live. If Theon doesn't die. Because Theon has came to fight for Winterfell, as his sister holds down islands for Dany and co. If they will even go there. But not only was the scene emotional for the reasons that we already talked about, it was also interesting to note that Daenerys really got to see how many people are like the kind of love people have for Lady Sansa, you know, and that they're willing to fight for her, and that she's really in a good place herself.
Theon's words were like, "I've come to fight for Lady Sansa."
Right.
Winterfell.
So
Well,
at this
specifically that.
maybe that even alienates Dany even more from how the North's been kind of treating her or seeing her in their eyes. You know?
Perhaps, but I don't know. I wouldn't stockpile it like a lot of people are. People are stockpiling these moments, and then they get a conspiracy out of it. So
They do.
So
They do.
far, I have to disagree with all of them, just because I guess I don't. My three favorite characters, their lives are at stake at every moment now.
Right.
So like, I'm just in denial.
No, I think I'll be honest. I think they're building to really kind of turn the tables on Dany in all aspects, and we'll get to that even more once we get to the last scene. But moving on, I think next is right here, right? The picture behind us, Missandei and Grey Worm.
I think it's yeah, that's a little tiny scene. Actually, that's the smallest scene right there.
Yeah, it's a
And
very
that-
small scene.
Yeah, it is, and that just shows that if they live, they will go to the island of Noth, and he will defend her people, and they'll live happily ever after. Which means they're both dead.
They're both dead, or one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
one at least. Yeah.
but actually, before we got to that scene, I forgot. We got to get to the scene with Davos.
Davos
And-
hands the porridge out
Yep.
to regular folk, recruits some dudes, but then this little girl with a facial scar.
Totally reminding of Shireen.
Mhm.
Yeah, very. But Gilly was there too. 'Cause remember, Shireen taught Gilly how to read. So
And this girl was reminded fans of her not just because of the face, because she was like had this like fearlessness
right.
to her. And
Yeah, it was also a slightly tear-jerking scene.
Yeah.
But
as Gilly comes in to help out, talk to her,
Right.
and say, "I need protection in the crypt. Will you protect us?" She goes, "I will protect the crypt," and takes her porridge and
now the
off she
crypt.
goes.
We got to talk about the crypt as well. It's mentioned a lot in this episode. What's going down in the crypts next episode? Is it going to be just a slaughterhouse? Will they escape the crypts through secret tunnels, or will the Kings of Winter, who have been, all the ancient Starks, will they be resurrected via the Night King in the crypts? That's what a lot of people are thinking. I think that probably will happen too, but I think it will be more Lord of the Rings style, and they'll actually fight for the good because it's the Starks protecting their home. They'll
I
get
like it.
resurrected, but they'll actually help. Instead, like everybody will be scared they're gonna kill them.
I would
Right.
absolutely love it. I would love that. That would be great. That would be great to see. And Aaron brought this up to me the other day, and it made me think of like a headless Ned Stark coming out, and
Right.
But the thing is that will it be the bodies resurrected? Will it be ghosts? Will it be like that black thing that birthed out of the Red Priestess, like in
Right.
that sort of form?
I think it'll be more like
or will it be
bones.
the statues like 80s style, like
No, yeah. I think it'll be like bones and whatever little meat and skins left on them. Bless you. Because we've seen from the Night King, his whites can be all of just but bone. Like when Bran was first getting to Bloodraven's cave, and all those whites were attacking him, they're like skeletons. They're straight up skeletons, So we know that
Oh, yeah,
he can
without-
reanimate without
They
like,
were
needing
skeletons
organs.
without even
Yeah.
right, without even guts and
It's
muscle.
just magic at this point. So I could totally see that happening, and maybe them helping him out, and maybe even them giving a homage to Lady Stoneheart from the books, which is Catelyn resurrected, but a different way via the Lord of Light.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different.
Well, right now my
fantasy.
mind's swimming. I'm melting scenes from Lord of the Rings where Aragorn brings the ships full of ghost armies.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're glowing green, and I was just thinking to myself, like, will the stacks glow green? What
No,
color will they glow?
they'll glow blue probably.
Blue,
like a
yeah.
bluish, ghostly glow.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just had to mention because the crypts, it comes up a lot in this
Oh,
episode.
by the way, does Gilly look pregnant, the actress, or they're trying to make the character pregnant again with a Sam, of an actual Sam
I think
child?
she actually in real life looks pregnant, but then maybe they'll roll that into the story somehow and be like, "Oh, Sam's really got her pregnant with his real kid," you know.
Yeah, I guess they could work that in. I mean, they're all dead anyway. I guess it doesn't matter.
But hey, the same scene rolls over and the horn draws as more recruits come to the
That's
door.
right. The Night Watch and East Watch leftovers arrive.
Yes. Not only you got Tormund, you got Dolores Ed.
Yeah.
You also have Beric Dondarrion. And when Jon sees Dolores Ed and he just runs over to give him a big hug, Tormund has to fucking interrupt it.
He's like, hey, and also, BAM!
Yeah.
He gets like,
My little crow. And he looks over his shoulder. Where's the big woman?
yeah, then the last line is, the big woman's still here.
That's what it is. Yeah, dude. He just is total, like, he's the
I can see how
cock blocker of the episode.
he, outside of, the obvious Tyrion and Daenerys and Aegon VI, John, he's got to be a fan favorite. Like,
absolutely.
if people had to pick one character outside of the three I mentioned, as far as a favorite, he's got to be like number one. And poor guy's gonna die tomorrow night or Sunday night, episode 3.
Yeah, he's one of the goners. But we'll get to that too in a little bit.
Let's see here. Well,
War Council, right?
War Council, all serving OGs are there.
Oh,
all
yeah.
surviving OGs serving.
Well, while we're talking about War Council, we'll go ahead and pull up. So we're in Winterfell, of course, guys. You know that.
Another Tormund quote in that War Council: "We're all going to die, but at least we all die together."
Right. There we go. We're in Winterfell now, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. All right. So here we go with our battle plans. What they see, what you guys will see now. Let me move it up a little bit. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So so they're all talking here in this scene and preparing for battle. This is the map on the table. Up here at the top are what they got representing the White Walker army.
All this up here is death coming.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we have in front of Winterfell, we have the Targaryen army with the Unsullied in the back, and I believe it was the Dothraki up front.
Wow. Dothraki up front, huh?
Yeah.
So they're going to be the first to turn.
The cavalry, yeah.
And you're going to have the most meaty, hardcore, like
crazy zombies.
walker zombies coming at you.
I know, it's no bueno.
That's not a good plan. But there's where you're waving the wand right there. That's Brienne and Jaime right in the front.
Yeah, Bran and Jaime in the front with some more Stark soldiers behind.
With Vale people, and then Stark are behind.
Yep, Vale and Stark, which Bran's going to be in charge of that flank. And then we have the right flank, which is all Stark.
Yes.
Over here, the right flank or whatever. So,
it's all just houses of the north are on the right.
Then over here in Godswood, we're going to have the Ironborn protecting Bran. Mm-hmm. Because the plan is, which I don't think the Night King's falling for this shit. The plan is that they're going to try to draw the Night King out because the army, as you can see, is there's no way they're going to be able to beat that unless they can draw the Night King out and possibly kill him, which will kill the rest of the soldiers. Mm-hmm. And the way to do that is to lure Bran in the Godswood because Bran is what he wants. And this is like the first time they kind of really finally, at least by Bran's narrative, tell us what the Night King's after. And what Bran really is. Like, what is the Three-Eyed Raven? Well, it's the memory of humankind.
I think, Tyrion gets to the bottom of it off camera.
And I think he does. And because he was very interested by that point. And they're like, well, how do you know? Or like, how, basically like, tell us more, Bran. Like, what's going on?
It kind of bothers me that Samwell wasn't as overwhelmed and intrigued with talking to Bran.
I think Bran's already told him all that before already.
I guess, but then when he was told Jon that Jon was actually Aegon the Sixth,
yeah,
he was like, how do you know? And to Samwell, and Samwell's like, well, because of the book from this guy, blah blah blah, and also your brother, because Bran knows. Well, Bran got what he's got.
What he's got. Right?
Now that could be just like his simple way of explaining what he really knows about,
right?
Or he really doesn't really understand what the hell's going on.
I think he understands to a degree. I mean, he even helped everybody kind of get what Bran was talking about. He's like, basically like, so in layman's terms, Bran, what you're saying is.
He trusts Bran because he helped him through the bottom of the wall to go up north in the first place. Samwell did.
Right.
And Samwell's the first to kill the White Walker and all that, so he's gotta be like, all right.
Well,
he says, go with it.
He told everybody too. He goes, yeah. He's like, well, if I was a Night King and I was trying to erase everything, all of humanity, and cause this long night, he goes, I would start with you because you're the memory. You're the memory of humans, and if you delete the ultimate memory of what it is to be a human. Or a human being in the the GOT universe, then the humans aren't humans anymore. If they can't, you don't know the past, the true past, and that's what the Three-Eyed Raven is. And so that was real interesting. They said that. I think that besides the Brienne of Tarth part in this episode was really the highlight of the episode and some people skim over that shit, but that's very important stuff right there to me. And then Bran goes ahead and say, because Jaime asked, and Bran's like, well, he marked me. And shows his whole marked arm. And that's when they conjure the plan to...
That he always knows where I'm at.
Right, exactly. They're all interlinked.
So they're like, great, we've got bait now.
Pretty much. And it also goes back to show that the Night King, the reason he can see Bran in the werewood net is because the Night King has access to the werewood net. So it's just like... he
the
just
werewood internet.
He can just run into him because they're both logged in, and that's why he can mark.
Pretty much
is what happens.
This is Westworld. I mean, Game of Thrones. Sorry. Glitch.
Park 5. Or whatever.
Park 10.
Park
knows?
10,
Whatever.
yeah, right. The secret park for ballers. So yeah, the scene then ends after they're all they figured out the plan. The scene ends with Tyrion wanting to divulge some more information from his
he's like, Bran's like, it's a long story, my whole story. He goes, I know your whole story is a long story, and we got all the time in the world. We're, all about to die tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Pulls up a chair, and what do? They do the same thing that they did to us when Cersei and Tyrion were talking.
Yeah,
and the whole pregnancy thing, and then that
cut it, man.
Blew theories all over the place. Now this will too.
Yeah, it will, I think, man. And then essentially we get that Missandei Grey Worm part, I'm pretty sure, and then we move on to the Watchers on the Wall.
Yes.
The Watchers on the Battlements, I should say. We get that little reunion of the three.
Well, not only that, the last three of the Night Watch, I guess.
The crew, the nameable characters, not the background.
Because there's a few other guys, but hey, guess who was sitting right behind him? I was so happy to see. It made my day. That's right, Ghost himself.
I made sure to get that picture if it popped up.
In the middle of Winterfell, safe and sound hound, and maybe this guy over here's fun theory of Arya's dog with its new pack showing up.
I think they will. They'll help.
Just
they'll have
help
a
them
scene.
escape maybe out the back.
Something along those
Follow
lines.
the dogs or something.
Something will happen where there's a reason they showed Arya meet up with that pack last season. Not only to let you know that she's still alive and she's got a whole wolf pack behind her now, but also the whole wolf pack's probably going to come and help to a certain degree. I bet. I think it will.
Hey man, I'll tell you what. Alexander the Greek. That's right. I said it that way. He hit one of his biggest defeats against Darius the Third or whatever. Was he did that axe hammer fucking trick, but his flankers were the real key. He had dogs, like bull mastiffs, ancient dogs, flanking with dudes with slingshots. And
nice.
That's what really won the war.
That's crazy.
It really wasn't the power in the middle and the total hammer on the top.
It was the viciousness.
It was them doing that made them all go to the middle. Yeah. So then the Greeks just sandwiched them that much easier. It's almost like taking and that's what these dogs could possibly do in this battle, Winterfell. It's almost like taking the hinges off the corner and allowing your troops to go in or spread out depending on the strategy.
They're either gonna get sacrificed to save Arya or come in at a moment just to kind of be like, oh sweet, they're here to help, and maybe jump in with Ghost and they'd have a little cool scene.
I can see Arya getting rescued and Gentry just being ripped to shreds.
Yeah, Gendry's fucking dead, dude.
He might even turn.
He's totally turning probably. Oh yeah, because they said too, by the way, guys, that there will be characters that we know and love that will turn into whites. So sweet.
Yeah, I mean it's actually would be gratifying if eventually by the end of the full season they actually kill people we don't like.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like if that joke about Tyrion turning and ripping Cersei apart, if any of the characters rip her apart, that would be
pretty cool.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool. Why not?
I enjoy it. But yeah, so they're on the battlements talking. It's a nice little callback to the wall. They have little jokes, shoot the shit. Sam reminds everybody, I don't want to go in the crypts because I'm the first man who killed a White Walker, and I killed Thenns. And then Dolores Head reminds him of Thenn. And then, they shoot shit and laugh, and, well, here we go, guys. And then it just sinks in even more, man. But I think at that point, we kind of go into the castle, maybe some place warm and cozy to talk about some stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Probably the most memorable scene for, well...
Couple scenes, yeah.
This is one of the two most memorable scenes that's more than 30 seconds long. Tyrion and Jaime share memories, and it turns into a party gathering with Jaime, Tyrion, Brienne of Tarth, Podrick himself, Davos, and of course our Giant's Bane boy,
Yeah,
Tormund. What a great party.
I just love how he enters too. He comes in, he's looking around all smiley, he drags the chair to brutish.
Yeah, well, first he's like, so they call you the Kingslayer. Goes,
well, remember, no, they call you the King Killer.
The King Killer. King Killer.
He gets it wrong, and he's like, yeah, I'm sure there's somebody probably does.
Yeah. Now I get it. I didn't even think of it that way. I just figured he was saying someone does, a lot of people do.
Besides even Tormund, who was the ultimate comedy relief, even little scenes like Tyrion and Pod, this is another
pouring the wine.
And this is another reason I say Jaime probably loves Brienne romantically. As soon as Brienne walks in with Podrick to the room, Jaime jumps up all of a sudden, my lady.
Sure.
Yeah, and then Tyrion looks up at him, and they specifically show a scene with Tyrion looking up at him like, oh shit, he fucking loves her, dude.
Oh, come on.
I swear, dude, it's.
You know what I thought when he did that with the chair real quick? I thought he was excited that she was there. He wasn't. He thought he was just going to be talking to his brother.
It's like excited, but he's got a crush on her.
It's like a cousin comes over on Easter. You haven't seen him in 5 years. You're like, oh, Cazzado, sit over here. And listen to that. No.
I think he's just got a crush on her. He's like a little boy's got a crush because he's never loved anybody but his sister. So now he actually loves somebody past his sister, and he's like, oh, sit down, Brienne. I think so, dude. That's my prediction.
Sick.
Hey, you know who's sick? Jaime effing his sister. I'm trying to ship him and make him normal, goddammit.
It's like anything. Yes.
Right.
I'm going to say something wrong. I'll stop myself.
Either way, then, of course, the wine scene where Tyrion's giving Podrick the extra wine was hilarious. Because the look on his face,
as he's pouring, it's overflowing, and then Pod's like,
yeah, I loved it, dude. Great stuff. And then, of course, we get to the whole...
You get to hear Podrick sing.
Well, we'll get to Jenny's song.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Sorry.
Because we got to talk about Giant's Bane.
Oh, yeah. So, the King Killer, they call me Giant's Bane. You want to know why? And that's where he drags the chair in. And I was watching it next to him like, I want to know why. Please.
Yeah, please, yes. Everybody wants to know now. And everybody's looking at him like, oh, God.
Story.
Brienne is just like, oh, no. Essentially, Tormund just suckled the teeth. Well, we killed a giant at 10. Which is crazy.
10 years old, killed a giant.
Then suckled the teat of the giant's wife. Because the giant's wife thought he was
he was a giant baby. Right.
In the books,
that's why he's so strong, right?
In the books, he has that whole moment earlier in the books, but he actually says, I said Giant's Bane because it's more catchy than Giant's Babe. That's what they say in the book.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't want people to call me Giant's Babe, so I made the Giant's Bane.
Nice.
Yeah. But then he proceeds to drink the milk out of the horn, and Davos like, I need a drink now.
Yeah.
Right. And then they actually cut away from that scene for a little bit, and we get Arya checking out what's going on with the Hound.
Yeah, last chat with the Hound and also
Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah, that's right.
The two old miserable shits themselves.
That's right. She calls them that.
Yeah, right. But they kind of have a moment. I like the moment with Arya and Hound because he's kind of like, you never shut up before. What's now? She's like, well, I've changed. But she's like, but why are you here? Why are you fighting with the Starks? Why were you helping my brother pass the wall? What's your fucking deal? And he's like, She's like, you haven't fought for anybody but yourself. And he, of course, says, well, I fought for you once, didn't I? Yeah. And that was pretty touching. I mean, it didn't choke me up like other scenes, but it was like...
Point taken.
I was like, oh, wow, yeah. I mean, the Hound actually really cares for Arya, but his weird way of showing it with his brutish, everything about him, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, things that were said not directly to her, about her, by him, were definitely showed his respect for her and appreciation of her. Because, Brienne of Tarth and the Hound talked about her and how she's a little badass and how neither of them would mess with her and all that.
Right, and she's a cold bitch. That's why she's lived.
Right. And the fact that he says that to her face earlier on in episode 1 or whatever, it was actually like a loving thing to say in a weird way.
It was.
The fact that she went through what she went through, and him being him, it's his way of totally reaching out and saying, "You're a tough cookie."
And their little moment gets interrupted by Barrack. Hound, of course, lays into him for it to a degree, but she leaves because she doesn't want to be the miserable shits. What was funny, a little Easter egg. As soon as Barrack shows up, the Hound says, "Oh, what?" He goes, "Fucking, might as well be a bloody wedding," which is an Easter egg to the Red Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Totally is. Because those three, in the books, those three are all in the same spot. Barrack's actually the one who brings back Catelyn Stark after the Red Wedding and makes her Lady Stoneheart. But again, that's just in the book, so I think that was a little Easter egg.
Here we go. The scene that everyone's been waiting for. If you're ready for that.
I am. It is the scene, Arya and Gendry.
Roll it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Arya gets 3 things from Gendry. A weapon.
A double-sided Darth Maul fucking dragonglass.
Awesome.
Spear.
That she will wield with blindfolds on. His true identity.
Yeah.
That he is a Baratheon bastard.
Yeah, and she was actually very surprised.
And, of course, a little, pre-war sex.
Yeah, I mean...
Because, she wanted to know what it was like before she died.
This has got everybody's panties in a wad on the internet.
First of all, the actress is like...
For good and bad.
20?
Yeah, exactly.
I heard 19 or 20. She's one of the two, but,
and she's like supposed to be like 18 or that or in the show, so at this point. Yeah. So they're both adults. At this point, this is the most humanizing thing, dude. Like, we've seen her in such assassin, cold-hard mode that it's kind of nice to be like, I want to experience something I haven't experienced yet before I die.
Right. And
I can do whatever the fuck I want now. So it's like...
And Gentry's the one interest I've ever had, and there he is.
So, it's like, I'm fine with it. I thought it was cool. Good for them, but one of them's dead. Probably Gendry.
And then back at the gathering, right? At the drinking.
Back to the drinking at this point.
The official...
Tyrion saying...
Why the episode was named the episode.
Yeah, Tyrion's like, you know what? I think we will live, as everybody chuckles at him. And he tries to kind of tally mark the battles between everybody and gets to Brienne of Tarth and accidentally calls her a sir. And, actually, you know what?
I never called her sir after that ceremony was over. Everyone called her sir.
I never opened with that scene for some stupid reason, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys now.
Yes.
This is actually a perfect moment.
Back at the drinking gathering, Jaime knights Brienne. Please enjoy.
Yeah, and this is kind of funny. This is not only Jaime expressing his love in my mind, and more officially because he says a knight can knight another knight. But this is also more funny Tormund moments where he's kind of like, well, fuck tradition.
Yeah.
He's like, I would knight you over 10 times. Which is
no, it was more like this. I knight you 10 times over.
Oh god, what a cheeseburger!
Loved it.
He's great though, and I think everybody else kind of not only they saw like, okay, he's making a sexual stab at her, but also like, you know what? He truly didn't mean that.
Yeah, right.
It was coming from him.
It's his culture is different than hers.
Right.
He meant it in the right way.
And even Davos just chuckled. So everybody stood up and watched, and we can all watch together.
Taught you to be brave.
Where? This way? No. That way.
In the name of the Father.
Such a great scene. Tearjerker for sure.
I charge you to be just.
First time you get to see Brienne with a true smile.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice pretty smile.
Like pure joy.
I got a picture of it somewhere in our slideshow. But even her, like the way she she's just so happy.
What a
and
cool
way,
story.
and
It truly is what she's always wanted. She goes, I don't ever want to be a knight. She looks over at Podrick and he's like, yeah, right.
And the way Jaime's looking at her in this scene too is more like in my mind like, okay, he's just freaking in love with her. I think it, man. It's crazy, but it's like a weird thing. It's kind of like the way the Hound, not like he loves Arya, but I'm saying the Hound like expresses his like respect to Arya, like we were just saying.
Yeah.
Jamie just it's hard for him and Brienne to express those kind of feelings to each other right now.
You think though Jamie would undress all that armor off Brienne and go,
They've already been naked together before.
what?
Remember in the bath?
They were breaks. They had mud.
Jamie seen her
scrambled.
butt ass naked before she stepped out of the water. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Flashed her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
What am I thinking? I've seen everyone's arse in the whole entire cast.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone under the
They've at
age of
least showed their
40,
butt.
I've seen their buttocks at least.
Right.
One time at least.
Right. So that was a great scene, by the way. Oh, there's Winterfell. So yes, the knighting scene, and then
Well, Jorah Mormont and Lyanna Mormont, they get
Oh,
interrupted by Sam, but the fact that you get to see the two cousins,
I thought it was pretty
they're
cool.
first cousins, right?
Yeah, they are, and she's a little badass.
Absolutely.
She's like,
If I'm gonna fight, I'm not gonna go fucking do this and that.
I wish you good fortune, cousin.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. And then Sam, of course, comes up and is like,
Oh, awesome stuff. I can't wait to see him wield it.
here you go, Valerian steel, Heartsbane. Badass sword, by the way.
I gotta get my water.
He'll be right back. But a badass sword, I mean, it's just gilded, awesome. Sheath and sword both, hilt. But Sam really respects Jorah, and you know, Sam even tells Jorah that his dad showed him how to be a man, and though he wishes to avenge his family one day with this sword, and wield it in their name, he can barely hold it upright, so he gives it to Jorah.
Oh, green screen.
Oh, dang!
What?
A lightsaber.
Oh my lord. We're gonna play with this more on PanNerdia.
I didn't even think about that. It's a green lightsaber, but it's a green screen, so that's pretty tight. We just found something new, guys. That's like the Winter Sword, bro.
Yeah. I'd have been like, you know what? We've made like Tyrion is like, I've come up with an idea. We take wildfire and turn it into like wildfire swords, kind of like what's his name sword?
Oh yeah, Barrack sword.
Barrack sword, but with wildfire.
Dude, hey, if they end up showing Lightbringer, if that ends up becoming a real sword in the show, maybe it'll turn bright white like that.
I think the
That'd
last
be pretty
episode
tight.
of the
series will
series.
have Lightbringer killing Night King.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to kill him. But some great stuff, man. And then we get to the singing of Podrick, which surprised many. But there's a very important message to that song, Jenny's song.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the producer writers say that in George's book, it was just like the first verse,
right?
Maybe a verse and a half, and then they did all the rest of the writing for the song and all that. But it is based on a story in lore.
Yeah. So the story goes. I will butcher this slightly. But essentially, one of the Targaryens, right? He was one of the uncles of Rhaegar Targaryen and Dany. And he was also related to Aegon the Fifth, the one who was accompanied by Duncan, Sir Duncan the Tall, who's also one of Brienne's. Oh, and this is all going to kind of tie the episode together too.
Yeah, we're going to need to have family tree set up.
Okay, let me just switch, because this I do have to mention all this, because this ties into the title of the episode, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, right? Sir Duncan the Tall was one of the greatest knights of the Seven Kingdoms. Well, Brienne is a descendant of his, and that's why when she get knighted, that's why this episode's called that. But it also relates to Jenny's song, the song Podrick sings. Now, Sir Duncan the Tall was the king guard of Aegon the Fifth, who ended up, actually he was Aemon's brother. Remember Aemon from the Night's Watch, the blind Targaryen, his brother and all that.
His last memory before he died was him
about
saying,
egg.
Egg.
Yep.
I had to dream I was old.
And that's what everybody called Aegon the Fifth was Egg. Yeah. So anyway, there was a place, a luxurious summer getaway for the Targaryens called Summerhall, right? That they would all go to. Well, they all gathered at Summerhall for the birth of Rhaegar Targaryen. He was being birthed then, right? So as Rhaegar was being birthed, Rhaegar was being birthed, and his dad is Aegon, Aegon the Fifth. At Summerhall, there's a little bit more into that. Now, there was another It was Aegon the Fifth's son, who he named after Sir Duncan the Tall, Duncan Targaryen. Well, Duncan was about a older teen to a young man, just like how Rhaegar would later fall in love with an outside of the Targaryens. Duncan Targaryen fell in love with a woman named Jenny, and I forget her last name, I forget the town she's from, but falls in love with her. She's pretty much like a hippie, right, of like the Riverlands essentially, and he falls in love with her, and
Hippie in the Riverland.
yeah, she's pretty much just how she goes. Well, all in all, they have like a relationship where it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet thing. They can't like Duncan's they're trying to marry him off to another Targaryen, where and set up relationships, this and that, and she's just like a common person. So ultimately, they're all at Summerhall. Nothing has to do necessarily with them anymore, other than there were some eggs that Aegon had, and he was trying to. I believe it was Aegon. It might have been Duncan Targaryen to do it. It might have been Duncan. He was trying to impress Jenny. This is where I'll butcher it a little bit. But either one of the two, I think it might have been Duncan, was trying to birth the dragons or get them to hatch by wildfire. And the wildfire got out of control and ended up burning down Summerhall.
Oh.
Yeah. And during burning down, like, killing a lot of the Targaryens died in that too. It was like a big, like, it completely killed the Targaryen family. And only a few got out, including Rhaegar. But, like, Sir Duncan the Tall died there. I'm pretty sure... Aegon, no. Aegon's not Rhaegar's dad. I'm stupid. Aerys is, but Aerys was there too. Aerys, it was just the prince of Aegon. Aegon the Fifth was Aerys' father. Aegon the Fifth was Rhaegar's grandfather. Okay, so yes, a family tree will be mentioned soon. But all in all, it was a big fire, and a lot of people died. And Jenny's song is talking about how Jenny danced in the hall with the ghosts, and the ones long forgotten and alone, or I forget all the lyrics. But essentially, it's a song singing about the fire at Summerhall, and it also relates not only to Duncan trying to marry Jenny, Rhaegar actually marrying Lyanna, the secret marriages, as well as there's the big rumor in the books that Rhaegar is the one who wrote the song originally. So Podrick is singing the song of John's dad sung about the day of his birth, and that's where Rhaegar also thought he might have been Azor Ahai at one point, because he was essentially born of fire and smoke, because the wildfire, and he was born the day all that was burning down. So a lot ties in to there's a lot of Easter eggs and lore tied into just those couple little morsels. So I'm sorry I spoke your guys' ear off there, but
that's
I kind of
okay.
had to.
Fans of the book as well as the show appreciate it a lot.
Right. So
But
so
anyway,
you guys know.
Onward, forward. Danny learns the new truth from John, that he is actually my name,
Targaryen.
my real name.
Aegon the Sixth.
Yep.
Six of his name after the fifth, his great grandfather, and perhaps it truly is Azor Ahai, because Rhaegar married ice and he is fire, and he is the last male heir of the Targaryen family, which means he's got leads on the Iron Throne before Dany.
Yeah, he has claim to it, just like Danny said. That means you have claim. It's like, why don't you just two get together and shut the hell up about it already?
So I'm sure both of them are also thinking like, oh, fuck, we're related. But but this is where I wanted to say that this is where Dany, the way she reacts, is not out of love. It is out of desperation of this is what she's always known, and now Jon is somewhat of a threat, but also that the bigger threat's out fucking right outside. But she even says like basically, how convenient, your brother and your best friend are the ones who told you this. And nobody's ever had. There's whole secret's been kept all these years, and he's like, I wish it wasn't real, but it is, and I know it is. It's
Right.
like I know it deep down that this is what it is.
Yeah, and I like how he opened up with like, I wish it were,
Right.
true or whatever like that. In other words, like, I didn't choose to do this. I didn't choose to be the King of North. I didn't choose to, all these things happened.
Yeah.
So.
It is what it is, but before they can even
Let the fans
scratch
go
the server.
crazy now with
God.
what's going on in her mind, right?
And not only that, let the fans go crazy. And what the hell is happening next episode? Because god damn, is it going to be wild.
The biggest cinematic battle? Is that what you're talking about?
On any movies, television, anything. It's the biggest. It's going to be an 80-minute episode, an hour and 20 minutes. It's like 82 minutes or 87 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's like non-stop action, I'm sure.
They left us with episode 2 ending with, before the sun came up, the Night Kings. Well, the Night Kings.
All the generals.
All the
army.
generals are lined up and they approach Winterfell. The
And no
horns
sign of the
blow.
Night King. And this is the reason why he's not on Viserion. You don't hear Viserion. And every time the Night King shows up, so does a storm. So it's not storming yet. If you notice at the end of the episode, it wasn't snowing. As Tyrion looked desperately out with the boom, 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 like dreadful drums and fucking horns, looked out at his inevitable doom. Hopefully he doesn't die.
Maybe Tormund will live, because if anyone can battle in that, in a blizzard.
The Wildlings will will have the best advantage in terms of, so Wildlings and Northerners will have the best advantage. Everybody else is. I actually really fear for the Dothraki.
The Dothraki are going to turn so quick. It's going to be
not
awful.
only are they the cavalry, they also have never fought in a big blizzard before. And to be honest, they'll probably be. I think some of them will be scared of the bones because I'm sure something religious with them. They'll see the death and be like, "Holy fuck, we're literally fighting death." Like that actually might spook them a little bit. You know.
I don't know if anything could scare Dothraki. But maybe that's the one thing.
Maybe the death will, you know. So, yeah, that's good. And then there's gonna be like the most wild fucking zombies in the world. So sweet.
Yeah, this is something we've all been waiting for, and obviously we're gonna watch this one over and over and over, just like it's a regular cinematic adventure movie, like a one-time thing. You know?
And I'm seeing it after I watch Avengers Endgame. So awesome. I'll be emotionally drained Monday.
Yeah.
So here we go, guys. We're gonna start talking about possible deaths and which characters will go and who survive. Right off the bat, Jon and Dany, I think they both have plot armor. I think they will live during this battle. At least those two. If anybody out of these like 14 characters I'm showing, 14, 15, those two will live. As far as Sansa, real quick before the thing changes, what do you think?
Bran
you think
in the background, dead.
Do you think Sansa's living or dead?
I think she'll live.
I think she'll live as well.
Yeah.
I think she'll live to the end.
Yeah.
So we'll see who's next here. Pretty much just straight up Arya.
Like a thumb up or down. I think she'll live, but she's gonna lose Gentry.
Yeah, I think she will live, but there's a big possibility she will die. I don't think she's.
Maybe she's the one that turns and rips Cersei apart, and she finishes her list as a walker.
Tyrion, what do you think? Speaking of ripping people apart, do you think Tyrion will rip people apart? Do you think he'll live to the end? Possibly be the writer of Song of Ice and Fire.
Wow, that's deep. I'll tell you one thing. If I had to have a bold prediction about Tyrion, it would be that he disappears and we don't know where he's at, and then he reappears either as a walker or himself in a dramatic, comes to the save or something.
I know. Okay, here we go. Big boy Bran, what do you think?
If he dies, that's gonna ruin all the advantage that they have, or maybe he is a disadvantage now that he's marked.
I think he's either dead or kidnapped. Theon, I think he's dead.
Dead for sure.
But I would like to see him in Sansa's ship later. But I think he's dead. He's gone.
Yeah, he's a goner.
But I think it'll be perfect for his character arc. Ser Jorah also, I think he's the goner.
He's the one I'm going to have a hard time losing, but I agree.
Same here.
I think he'll do a lot of damage first.
Yes, I think he will be
was it Heartsbane
badass.
he's got wielding there? Yeah. He'll do a good deal of damage with that.
Yeah, he'll be a badass. Brienne of Tarth, again, she could die because of her episode, but also I think, again, going to the theory Jamie had of I will die, he even said himself, I will die in the arms of the woman I love. I think perhaps he'll die in Brienne's arms. Yes, sir. You know it. Here we go, Sir Davos. I think I would love for him to live so much, but there's a possibility he'll probably die. But I would love him to live. I love Sir Davos.
I don't know. I do too, but
Gendry, he's dead.
Dead for sure. I think Davos will probably help out out with like the women and children or something and squeeze out somewhere.
Squeeze out somehow, yeah, right. He might with Tyrion.
But no, this dude Gentry, he's dead.
I don't
he
have
just had his last.
Right, he's done.
Yeah.
Tormund's done too, unfortunately. I think Tormund will go out in a really badass way that a lot of people will be sad for. But he had like his ultimate funny moments. You learned his name. He's goner.
I can see him like John was in like a bunch of bodies. Remember when he was getting squished? I could see him like in the dead getting squished, but still killing them as he's like they're piling up under him, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I could see something like that. Also, a candidate for writing a book, Song of Ice and Fire. I think he's gonna live and be one of those people. I think being a mind like that, and though he's in the battle, I think he might live. And as far as these two, I put them together because either both goners or one of the two. And if it's one, it's probably Grey Worm.
Yeah.
I did put Varys in here. I forgot to put him in there, but you know what? He's not really a big player to me right now.
He had one scene. It was just like walking down the hallway when Tyrion's this might be one of you guys next. So, be right hand.
I don't think, and it shows him sitting in the crypt, so ultimately I'm not too worried about him. He doesn't make or break the bank for me, whatever. But before we show you guys, actually, you know what? We'll do a preview, then we'll do some predictions for the episode, last minute predictions, and we'll call it a night. And we would love to say, and go watch the episode, but that's not until tomorrow.
Right. Well, we'll post this.
It'll be on the YouTube.
On the YouTube tomorrow at a probably early evening before you head out for the movie, right?
Yeah, it'll be posted. The drop a good hour or two before the actual episode.
Perfect.
All right, guys, here it is.
The most heroic thing we can do now.
Every time I watch the trailer and the end of this episode 2, I get anxiety. She's like, the desert would fucking here.
Yeah.
Tyrion's in the crypt there. Jon Snow. Oh, we got Arya running. And that was, by the way, that was Daenerys on Drogon. That was not the Night King. And then Brienne, of course. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Chills. Chills. Alright, so we already told you guys.
Hold. What's there to hold? They're dead. Like,
right.
They're not soldiers clashing like shield to shields. You know what I mean? It's like they're gonna just be like wiggle right through and start munching and crunching and stabbing.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild, dude. Yeah, people are goners.
Nerve-wracking, but also super excited just because of the cinematic adventure it's going to be. I mean,
any wild cards, Pete?
People are saying this is going to like be better than 300 and Braveheart and this and that.
Yeah,
like you just name your big battle movies.
This will be the best.
2 hour, 5 minute, whatever episode.
An hour 20.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be wild, bro.
My predictions?
Any wild cards?
Wild cards. I think my wild card. I already said it. It's going to be either like an Arya or a Tyrion turning and doing damage, you know, later on. Like they'll disappear, then come back. But you mean wild card like you think something's going to happen during the battle?
Yeah, something
that's going to change something big time?
That we have no idea what's about to come. Like it's going to be like either a showstopper or change the game.
There's nobody outside of Winterfell that could be that game changer.
I think there could be.
But are you saying there's somebody inside?
No, I think there's somebody outside that could be a game changer. Melisandre.
Oh, I think she's going to be after this battle.
You think after? You think she'll be an endgame?
She will be the endgame for the light-bringing sword action, yes.
Okay.
But, you know, I did say before this review, in the first review we did, that it would be cool if she showed up with a bunch of red priestesses and they all like did some sort of like X-Man action, for sure. That would be too. But
what about the Night King? Do you think he's gonna fall for Bran's plan, or you think he's got a crazy plan of his own?
I liked the prediction I heard about him swooping around, gathering more dead to come and do that whole like hammer and axe action. But I don't see him showing back up with an army that quickly. Although Dany sure flew up pretty fast up north once with a dragon. Maybe he can fly pretty fast south and roundabout.
I saw a pretty funny meme of somebody made like a Google Maps of Westeros, and it was like, and they labeled it what the Night King is doing on his phone before he goes to Winterfell, and he's like, it shows Winterfell and it says what's the quickest route to King's Landing? It's like 14 minutes dragon. He's like, okay. It's like his GPS. It's pretty funny, dude. Somebody set it up nice.
Yeah, like 7 days by horse.
Yeah.
A few minutes by dragon.
Dragon, you're pretty quick. Especially Viserion. He seems like he's faster than the other dragons.
I mean, I can't see anyone from the... I mean, Theon's sisters just holding down the fort.
The only other person I can
islands.
see is Bronn of the Blackwater.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. I think he's the only one, other than the wolves, to show up.
He's supposed to be on his way up there, right?
Right. So, who knows, man? I think, if anything... I basically think of all these theories everybody has, of everything, it's not going to be as straightforward as people think, and I don't think people will ever predict what they're really going to do, and we'll all be shocked with this episode.
I say 10 characters that have ever had lines in this show will die in episode 3, and there'll be another, 6 that will live that are, main characters, and the escape route out of here is going to eventually lead to an island, whether it's, the Iron Islands or Dragonstone, or maybe some people will be running for their lives down to the neck and end up in the middle of the neck in that little there's a lake in the middle of the
God's Eye, the God's Eye.
Yeah, I mean I guess that could be a place to go.
That's where Harrenhal is at, though.
Harrenhal, right?
I think, if anything, people are thinking they'll go to White Harbor, which is the bay that's down south, towards the end of the north. Yeah. And that's where they could, not only, regroup, but a lot of them get on ships and they go to Dragonstone.
Oh, yes.
Eventually. So, whoever survives can basically collect there and go to Dragonstone.
Yep.
But we will see, guys, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, the biggest battle in cinematic history. Right after I end up watching the Avengers, probably the biggest superhero movie battle ever. So it's going to be a wild night, that's for sure.
Oh, yes.
But very excited. I hope you guys are as well. And we will be back next weekend to delve in. Oh, God, really delve into that episode. I'm sure it'll be nice that we have that week in between for us to gather our senses before we fucking talk to you about you guys.
That is right.
Talk about it with you guys.
Well, everybody, enjoy episode 3, the battle of all battles thus far, and enjoy the enjoyment.
Hey, we will. All right, guys. Peace.